The Somaliland Electoral Commission has announced its plan to distribute voters' cards to all participants in the latest electoral registration process. The Commission unveiled this plan at a press briefing in Hargeisa on Wednesday, announcing that 10-day distribution period will kick off on May 31st.
The Somaliland Electoral Commission has announced it plans to distribute voter cards to all participants in the latest electoral registration process. The Commission unveiled this plan at a press briefing in Hargeisa on Wednesday, announcing that the Day 10 distribution period will kick off on Monday 31st, 2023. In a statement released by the Commission, it said, "The National Commission of Somaliland wishes to inform citizens who enrolled the 2022-2023 voter registration will officially be distributed nationwide. The distribution of voter cards is a crucial step in ensuring the fairness and transparency of electoral process. The Somaliland Electoral Commission has been working tirelessly to ensure that the electoral process is transparent and credible. The distribution of voter cards is expected to be conducted in one orderly manner, with the Commission deploying its officials to various regions to ensure that all registered voters receive their cards. The Commission has also urged all citizens who registered to collect their voter cards during the stipulated 10-day period to avoid any inconvenience during the election day."
The African Union Transition Mission in Somalia and the Somali National Army have disclosed they have killed a number of Al-Shabaab terrorists who attacked their camp recently. Previous week on Friday, militants invaded the peacekeepers' forward operating bases in Bulo Marer, around 120 kilometers southwest of Mogadishu, killing over 100 personnel. There has been no clear report issued to describe the magnitude of the soldier and military equipment losses during the attack.
The African Union Transition Mission in Somalia and the Somali National Armed Forces have disclosed that they had killed a number of Al-Shabaab terrorists who attacked their camp recently.
A group of leading Somali politicians denounced a move on Monday to overhaul the country's electoral system and introduce universal suffrage. They have charged that the proposals were unconstitutional and lacked broad consultation.
A group of leading Somali politicians denounced a move on Monday to overhaul the country's electoral system to introduce universal suffrage. They have charged that the proposals were unconstitutional and lacked a broad consultation. The new proposal aims to replace the complex clan-based indirect voting system that has been in place for over half a century with one-person, one-vote system. The Somali central government and 4 federal member states came to an agreement on Sunday to introduce this system with local elections set for June 2024. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud had pledged in March to end Somalia's clan-based voting system, which has not been without controversies. Sunday's agreement took place at a meeting of the National Consultative Forum, which also proposed a single presidential ticket where voters would choose a president and vice president. This effectively abolishes the position of prime minister. These proposals are subject to approval by the parliament. However, several politicians, including former President Sheikh Sharif Sheikh Ahmed and 4 former prime ministers, have issued a statement objecting to the agreement. They highlighted concerns over the constitutionality of the proposals and lack of broad consultation. The objections from the politicians highlight the complexity and sensitivity of Somalia's political situation. The country has been plagued by decades of war, and achieving political stability has been a long and difficult process.
Isaias Afwerki, the president of Russia, has arrived in Moscow on a 4-day state visit to Russia at President Vladimir Putin's request. According to Information Minister Yemeni Meskel tweets, the trip also included the foreign and cultural ministries. Here is a full story. Isaias Afwerki, the president of Eritrea, has arrived in Moscow on a 4-day state visit to Russia at President Vladimir Putin's request. According to Information Minister Yemeni Meskel's tweets, the trip also included the foreign and culture ministries. One of the few nations to have voted against UN resolution denouncing Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Eritrea and Russia have close ties. President Afwerki has ruled Eritrea since it gained its independence from neighboring Ethiopia in 1993. It's a one-party state with a heavily militarized culture that is located in the Horn of Africa and has never hosted a presidential election. Moscow has been keen to reestablish its old Soviet ties with Africa. It has made several military cooperation deals. Russian paramilitary firm Wagner Group has deployed in several African countries. Last week, Russia offered to supply Somalia's army with military equipment to aid in the country's fight against terrorism, according to Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. Furthermore, in January last year, Russia established a naval base in the Somali port of Berbera, which contributes to the broader strategy of establishing a more significant footprint in the region. The base is also positioned to secure Russia's interests in the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden, and the Horn of Africa. The move to supply Somalia's army with military equipment will further strengthen Russia's position in the region, giving it access to a new partner in the fight against terrorism. The pledge also highlights the significance of Somalia's strategic location for Russia, which sees it as an essential gateway to the markets of the Gulf. The cooperation opportunities in energy and mineral extraction are also critical for Russia's economic interest in the region. Mr. Lavrov also touched down in Nairobi on Monday morning for a series of meetings with the head of state, President William Ruto, and other local leaders. Last month, Russia said it was sending 200,000 tons of fertilizer to Kenya. On Africa Day, May 25th, the Russian government said it has sent a donation of fortified oil worth $1 million to be distributed to those facing hunger in Kenya. The offer comes as Russia seeks to expand its influence in Africa, upstaging the West in countries facing conflict. Russian mercenaries Wagner are currently present in the Central African Republic, Mali, Mozambique, and Libya. Moscow has also been campaigning against the sanctions imposed by the West, arguing they are blocking supply of needed wheat to Africa. But the wheat is also what Ukraine is sending. This week, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Dmytro Kuleba was completing his Africa trip, presenting his country's 10-point agenda for peace. It includes issues like global food security, radiation and nuclear safety, energy security, and the release of all prisoners and deportees. The influence of Russia in Africa was highlighted when 17 of the 35 countries that abstained from the United Nations vote condemning the invasion of Ukraine were African. Lovely viewers, that's all we have prepared for you tonight from our desk here in Mogadishu. I would like to thank the Dalsan Media fraternity for making this news bulletin a success. Wherever you're tuned in from, have your